Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBindGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the NASB 1995 text Classic Reference Bible in brown genuine leather, buffalo leather from Zondervan. This is a hand-sized Bible, which is my favorite size for a Bible. So we have the full text of the 95 NASB, brown buffalo leather with raised hubs, Smythe sewn, double column verse-by-verse format, center column references with 17,000 translator notes. Has a lot of cross-references too. These are expanded cross-references. These are the same cross-references used in the John MacArthur, the NASB MacArthur Study Bible. Red letter, 14 in-text charts and maps, double-sided satin ribbons, the 3/8 inch ribbons, art gilt edges, concordance, 8 pages of maps. It's 7 maps on 8 pages. And then the 9.5 point font. Let's take a look. And this is just about the perfect size for me. I like the hand size. I'll go ahead and show you the size of this thing. While I'm talking about size, we're looking at about 5 3/4. This is the overall size. By 9 by 1 1/4. And this makes a good all-around Bible. The buffalo leather does have some grain to it. It's the long streaky grain, which I like the look of. It has a prominent feel to it. Perimeter stitching, raised hubs, and then the text printed in gold on the side, nothing on the front or the back. Now, the liner has the gold line with buffalo leather cover imprinted. This is a heavy-duty vinyl edge-lined liner. Edgeline does last longer, but I'm not overly fond of this edgeline liner because of how stiff it is. The tab is stiff, and it keeps the Bible making it want to close. And that if that tab wasn't so stiff, it would be better. I'll show you how that stays open. It wants to close. I do like edgeline liners. I especially like them on larger Bibles. I don't necessarily like them on a small Bible. I'm more likely to use something like this one this is a Clarion. This has the paste down liner. Now when I say I like paste down, I'm talking about a good quality paste down. Something that will stay open on its own. And this has you can see the tape there. It's got binder's tape. But this will stay open better. So that's not going to fight me to close. And I can open that, and that's just going to stay open. It's going to be readable. No trouble whatsoever. That stays flat. Don't really have that with this one. This one wants to close because that tab is stiff. So if I can change one thing, actually, I would like to change 2 things. That's the first one I would like to change. I kind of would rather this be paste down. The second thing is the text going into the gutter. We'll get to that in a minute. This is made in China. The paper is 30 GSM. This is the same paper they use in their Thinline editions, and it's good paper for the price. It's easy to separate. A little bit of a rough texture. It's white in color. It does have some show through, but it's what I expect at this price range. The art gilt is kind of a rose color. And then here are our ribbons, brown and gold satin. The text itself, 9.5 point font, line matched, so that the lines on both sides of the page match each other. That improves readability, and it does look good. It does improve readability. It has plenty enough space in the lines, plenty enough space between the lines, between the words. It's easy enough to use and read. This would be a good all-arounder if you didn't lose the text in the gutter so much. Part of it is that edgeline tab wants to bend it out of the way. I just think a paste down would be better for this Bible. Or a less stiff tab. It does have a little bit of cockling, but not much. Not enough for me to worry about. So we have a poetic setting for the poetry. There are some lines that have a single word, and then there's some that really look good. The verses are indented. Our references are spaced apart evenly. So no matter how many there are on the page, they're just evenly spaced. If there are too many to fit, then the rest will be underneath the last verse. And then here is one of our in-text charts. Lots of charts and maps. Red letter. The red and the black both are about a medium in darkness, and they are consistent throughout. There's one of our charts. Old Testament quotes are in all caps. Here's where the references and the footnotes are more than what will fit on the page, so they go to the bottom. That's fine. I'm fine with that. If it wasn't for this inner margin and that stiff tab, I would say this would be the perfect all-around NASB, the perfect all-around use. So here is our book introductions. Most take about a half a page, in that range, and they talk about the title and the background, the author and date of writing, the theme and the message of the book, and then give a short outline. They're simple, but they just get to the point. Not a lot of information, but the information they do have is really good. There's not an index to those maps. I'd like to see an index. Make them easier to find. Then our concordance. This is a really good concordance. The entries are the same entries as what's found in the John MacArthur Study Bible, but it has more things than this does. Lots of entries. This is really good for study. Excellent for study. See how many it has for God. So God starts here and then continues here. Then goddess, godliness, godless, godly. So plenty of entries, and it does have names. Not all concordances have names of people, and this one does, making it a really good concordance for study. And there's our maps. It's on the thick semi-glossy paper, 8 pages with 7 maps, and then they're annotated. There's not an index, but they are annotated, and it's easy enough to use. And that's it. That's the overall look at this Bible. I think it's a good Bible for carry. I think it's a good Bible for study. I don't read verse by verse, but it would be good for all-around use. It's easy enough to read verse by verse. I just prefer paragraph personally. But if you do like to read verse by verse, this would be good for that. I just don't like the stiff tab, and I don't like the text going into the gutter. But other than that, this is a good Bible. Good content. I like it a lot. Just to give you a few comparisons, since I did mention the Clarion, I'll go ahead and show you how the Clarion looks compared to this one. Totally different type of Bible. So it's really not a one-to-one comparison, but I already mentioned it, so here's how their text compares. Clarion is thicker, a little bit smaller hand size. That's one of my favorite Bibles ever. But the first one I actually mean to compare to is the NASB 1995 Thinline large print. And this is in the blue buffalo leather. This one's a 10.5 point font. Here's how they compare. Really close to the same size. Similar. Not a huge difference between their footprint. Here's how they look. Both are red letters, so I'll go ahead and show you red. Here's how they look. One that's similar in size is the Pew Bible, Pew and Worship Bible. This is a good Bible. Almost identical in footprint and size. Layouts are almost identical. The obvious difference, of course, being that the Pew Bible does not have references, while this one does. Here's how they look. That's a good NASB there. I like that one. And then finally, the Preacher's Bible. The reason I'm comparing this one, even though it's definitely in a different price range, this is the Premier Collection. But I want to show the font size, how they compare. And the layout. This one has about 7 to 8 words per line. This one has a little bit more. Then here's their footprint, just to get an idea. So we didn't weigh this guy. Let's go ahead and get him weighed here. 1 pound, 12.5 ounces. So that's a quick look at the Classic Reference Bible. I love the size. I love the font size. It's a good all-around Bible because of the tools. Excellent references, excellent footnotes. I like having the in-text maps, even though it doesn't have a lot of them, and it doesn't have an index to link you to them. It does have a few, and those that it does have are useful. I like them a lot. Very good concordance, and good quality book introductions. They're short, simple, but it's some good information. This would be the perfect carry all around NASB if the edgeline tab wasn't so stiff, and if it had more gutter space. There's one of the charts. Now I'm hoping, I've used it for a few weeks, I'm hoping it'll break in more than it has. It currently hasn't, but I haven't used it as much as I'd like to have. I have used it, but not quite as much as I'd like to. I think it would take a little bit more break-in time for that to loosen up. Once it does loosen up, though, I think it would be a really good Bible. Zondervan did supply this in exchange for an honest review, and that is my honest review. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer. I'll place links in the notes where you can make a purchase if you're interested. And also I'll place a link to the review at Bible Buying Guide, where I always go into more detail, answer questions there that I didn't even mention here. Thanks for watching.